And for today's live, I will be showing you how to make pickled turnips. Right behind me over here, I have a plate full of turnips. I have some beets, and then a few simple ingredients: vinegar, sugar, sea salt, and whole black peppercorns. So this is a very popular side dish or appetizer in Egyptian culture, and I'm going to be showing you in today's live exactly how we make it. It's a very simple process. The most challenging part of making these pickled turnips is essentially waiting for the pickling process to take place, which is approximately 5 to 7 days once everything is cut and cleaned up, cut and prepared, and you incorporate the pickle brine. You have to wait approximately 5 to 7 days for it to be ready. But other than that, it's a very simple, straightforward process. I'm currently live on TikTok, which is to my left, and YouTube, which is to my right. So welcome to everybody who is joining in. A lot of you have been asking recently where I have been for the past several weeks. It's been about a month now since my last post. A lot has been happening in the past month, which has kind of prevented me from, not prevented me, but kept me from posting and creating videos and all that good stuff. But I am back, and for today's video we will be making pickled turnips, and then either tomorrow or Thursday, to my side over here, I actually have, let me take it out of this bag. We don't need this bag. Oops. Let's throw that one away. For planning to make this tomorrow, well, at least to prepare it tomorrow, I will be making some lamb shank. So definitely stay tuned for that live as well as that recipe video. So those are my next two videos that I will be working on. For today, it is pickled turnips, and for tomorrow, it is a lamb shank. In terms of the final cut, the lamb shank will post before the pickled turnips because the pickled turnips takes 5 to 7 days for the pickling process to complete. So while I'm waiting on that, I will be working on the lamb shank. What else? Other than that, let's go ahead and get started. So let me turn on my camera so that way we can start recording. And for those of you who have been part of my previous lives where I essentially give you like the behind the scenes of me working on my recipe videos that I post to my social media pages, you know that the very first thing that I do essentially after my introduction is I record my voiceover line. So here you can see I have printed up all of my notes, which is essentially everything that I will be saying and or doing for the purpose of this recipe video. If you're wondering why the font size is so large, it is because I am legally blind. I was diagnosed with a form of macular degeneration called Stargardt's disease when I was younger. I was about 13 years old when this happened, and there are no corrective lenses or contacts that I can essentially wear that will help me see better. However, in the past month, I did have, let me correct that. In the past, like about 7 weeks, I had two different doctor's appointments. More than 6 weeks, but I just had two important doctor's appointments within the past couple months. My most recent one was 3 weeks ago, and there is possibilities that we are looking at that could essentially help me gain some of my vision back. A lot of it's in clinical studies and things like that. And I still need a little bit more time to essentially understand everything that happened within these two appointments. And when that time comes, I am planning to essentially release a video talking about what happened at those appointments and what it means for me and moving forward where it will take me. So that explains the large size font. Anything that is highlighted, that is my way of telling myself that I need to adjust my camera angle so that it is up on me as I am saying and doing whatever step in the instruction is. Anything that is not highlighted is my way of telling myself that I just simply need to record my voice saying said lines, and then the camera will essentially be focused down on the food of whatever step that it is in the recipe or in preparing the pickled turnips. So let's go ahead and remove this cover. As you can see, this monitor is connected to my camera. Let me turn off the AC, because otherwise the microphone will pick up all that noise from the AC blowing, and it is really annoying. And I'm not at that expert level of audio editing, essentially, where I know how to eliminate certain noises and keep other noises. So I try to keep things as simple as possible when it comes to my editing processes, and so on and so forth. Also, exciting news for the YouTube side of things. I just posted it to my Instagram and my other platforms within the past couple days. I did just get approved on YouTube to be part of the YouTube partner program. So thank you to everybody on YouTube for all of your support, all of your likes, comments, your shares, all of your interactions has really made the difference in me reaching that milestone with my YouTube. So I really appreciate everybody on YouTube. I'm also working on a like an introduction video for my memberships, where I want to be able to offer my videos for any paid members for my videos to have early access to my videos, special emojis. I created about like 40 to 50 emojis. They're all related to like Egyptian culture. So I created an emoji for Mordechai, for Kushari. I created a little emoji that says okay khalas. So just like a whole bunch of different things that you'll have access to on there. And there are a few other perks that I am offering on there. So I also do need to complete that introduction video as well, which you guys on the YouTube side will be seeing in the next coming week or so. So definitely stay tuned for that as well. Big things are coming. Definitely there's more recipes, more yelling, more okay khalas, more yelling. Did I say more yelling? So there are definitely a lot of things that I've been working on behind the scenes. Just because I'm not producing videos does not mean I am not planning or working on my next moves. So let's go ahead and get started with my voiceovers. Start this recipe by preparing the turnips. Let me try that one again. I'm actually going to temporarily kill the power on my fridge because it likes to make really loud noises randomly, and I don't want that to kick on as I am doing my voiceover. So let's go ahead and do this. Cut the ends off the turnips. And peel off the skin. I completely missed the line where I didn't write it in, where I say that you're supposed to wash it. So slice the turnips and this. So let me rephrase how I did the second one. Instead of saying and peel off the skin, I'm going to say peel off the skin. Then I'll say and wash them. I'll say it in some sort of capacity. So let me get rid of that one too. So that way, essentially, since it's going to be one sentence, my flow for that one sentence is going to be more fluid. Cut the ends off the turnips. Don't say it plural. Let's try that again. Cut the ends off the turnip. I should say plural because it's going to show all of them. Oh my goodness. Let's try it again. All right, guys. No more laughing. We got to be serious now. Cut the ends off the turnips. Then peel off the skin. And wash off any of the zbeda. Let me try that one again. So zbeda, for those of you who do not know, is Arabic for garbage. And wash off any of the zbeda. Slice the turnips into discs at least 1/4 of an inch thick. Then slice it into these little matchstick-like. Let's try it again. I'm supposed to say shapes, but I was about to say something else. Oh boy. Then slice it into these little matchstick-like shapes. It should look like this. Cut off the beets ends and peel off all the skin. Then give it a nice wash to remove any zbeda. Next, slice it into 1/4 inch discs. And slice those discs. What? And slice those discs or these discs. And slice these discs. I'm not going to say those or these. And slice the discs. So instead of those or these, I'm going to say slice. I'm going to say the instead. And slice the discs to create these. What? Oh my goodness. like doing jumping jacks as I'm reading. I'm jumping jacks like I'm jumping jacks the words, if that makes sense. If it doesn't make sense, whatever. Think about it and then get over it. Let's try this again. And slice the discs to create these beets matchsticks. It should look like this. Combine water, with white vinegar, sea salt, and sugar. Mix it really well to ensure the sea salt and sugar have fully dissolved. Let me try that one again. So let me get rid of that clip. Let's try that one more time. Mix it really well to ensure the sea salt and sugar have fully dissolved. I like started talking like really fast, like where I say like mix it really well. I don't like my like tone and expression as I'm saying it. Well, not like physical, well, just verbal tone and expression as I'm saying it. So let's try that again. What is this one? Okay. Mix it really well to ensure the sea salt and sugar have fully dissolved. I think that was much better. Now to a glass jar. Layer the turnips with the beets. Fill the jar all the way to the top. I don't like on how I just say fill the jar all the way to the top. I'm going to change how I say that, because afterwards I say add whole black peppercorns for a subtle spicy kick. So I'm going to rephrase, instead of me saying fill the jar all the way to the top, I'm going to say it a little bit differently. So prior to that I said, now to a glass jar, layer the turnips with the beets. Once you have, so instead I can say next, once you have added all the turnips and beets. Once you have added all the turnips and beets, add whole black peppercorns. All right, that's what I'll say instead. So let me get rid of this one. Yeah, that one can go. Once you have filled the jar with the turnips and beets, all right, so that takes care of that one. Now we're back on track. Add whole black peppercorns for a subtle spicy kick. Now pour Let's try it again. Take two. Well, this is like take like 757 from all the retakes I've done on previous lines. Now pour the pickle brine. All right. Now pour in the pickled brine, ensuring you completely cover the turnips and beets. So I said that a little bit differently from what I wrote, so hopefully I said it right. I think that should be okay. Seal the jar shut. Okay. The turnips have been pickling for a week now. Why did I just do that? The turnips have been pickling for a week now. And here is how it looks. Notice the pickle brine is now this deep purple color. While the turnips have taken on this bright pink or fuchsia color. Let's try that one again. While the turnips have taken on this bright pink or fuchsia color. All right, that's the last of it. All that's left for me to record in terms of my voiceover will be anything that is highlighted. So the first thing I have to record is where I say start this recipe by preparing the turnips. So now I need to rotate that way, and then I need to turn my camera as well. Right. I'm also going to be bringing you guys over here, so let's go on a little field trip. This is a very short field trip. Bring you guys right over here. Hopefully everybody can see everything okay. Let's see, let me adjust TikTok a little bit. Hopefully that is better for everybody. All right, let me grab a few things like my cutting board, knife, there's a peeler in here somewhere. Peeler. What else do I need? I have my bowl over here. I need to grab some water. Gallon of water. I'm not going to use the full gallon, but it's just here. And then what else? What else? I think that's everything. I think. Let's see. Cutting off the ends. I think that's everything for now. So let's go ahead and get started. So as occasionally I will be reaching across like this, when I'm doing that, I'm essentially just adjusting my other camera, which is to the right of TikTok and YouTube. So I think to your left, since everything would be flipped on your end. So as I'm reaching across, I'm just adjusting my camera that I'm recording the final recipe, the final cut of the recipe video that will be posting to my page. So let me go ahead and grab these turnips, this plate of turnips. All right. All right. Start this recipe with some turnips. Not with some turnips, by preparing the turnips. Start this recipe by preparing the turnips. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get rid of that one and let's try it again. Start this recipe by preparing the turnips. I was about to say with some turnips again, and I did a slight pause. I felt it with my body language. So nope, don't like it. Start this recipe with, there I go again by saying with some turnips. I wrote by preparing the turnips, not with some turnips. Let's try it again. All right. All right, I can't be laughing or smiling for the purpose of my final cut, so I need to cut that out. Start this recipe by preparing the turnips. Much better. All right, let's review it. Make sure that the turnips stayed in focus. Start this recipe by preparing the turnips. We're good to go. All right, set that to the side. Now, here, I'll keep this here. Notes right here. Now I need the cutting board. Let me tilt you guys a little bit down. Same for you, YouTube. I need to adjust this camera as well as the zoom. Tilt it more down. ends. So I'm not going to record this first one. That should be okay with the angle. So you want to simply cut off the ends. Then I am going to peel the skin. I am going to have a line that I will need to record as I'm peeling the skin. Not for this one specifically. So now you just simply want to cut it into discs. About, well, not about, at least 1/4 of an inch thick. So it should look like that. Then once you have these discs, you want to cut them the same thickness going across. You could go even thicker if you want. But you essentially want to create these kind of matchstick looking pieces is the goal. All right. So let me set this off to the side. Remove. Just for now, so I can get the shot that I need. Get rid of this. I'll get the shot that I need, and then I'll prepare them all, and then we can go from there. Let's see. Do this one for the video. That should be okay. Let's try it again with another one. I cut like too short. Let's try it again. Let's get it in one take. They say three's a charm. All right, we got this, people. We got this. Let me just clean this up before I move on to the next part that I need to record. Here, let me throw all of this out. So let me check the one where I peeled to make sure it stayed in focus, because sometimes when I'm peeling to help me see, I pull it up closer to myself and I pull it out of the camera frame. All right, we're good. Oops. Let me get these sliced as well. Then I can record my next shot. And then I have a recording line as well that I need to do. These ones back over. That shot. Now I'm going to cut off all of these ends. I need to adjust the camera angle up. And as I am peeling, I have I have two lines to record as I am peeling. So let's go ahead and get all of these cleaned up, and then we can go from there. That's all the ends. So let me put it on this plate to get it off the cutting board. I need to adjust the camera angle up. Let me wash my hands first. So I do have a line that I need to record. Adjust the camera a little bit more. Actually pull it back as well. Let's see how we look. In the bedded, we usually keep the skin on. Removing the skin is simply a texture and appearance preference. All right, hopefully I can get this all in the same take as I am peeling the same turnip. In the bedded, we usually keep the skin on. Removing the skin is simply a texture and appearance preference. So in the bedded, we usually keep the skin on. In the bedded, we usually keep the skin on. Removing the skin is simply a texture and appearance preference. Okay. In the bedded, we usually keep the skin on. Removing the skin is simply a texture and appearance preference. Removing the skin is simply a texture and appearance preference. All right. We got this. In the bedded, we usually keep the skin on. Removing the skin is simply a texture and appearance preference. All right. Now I need to say just that with a better tone while I am peeling this turnip, all in one take. All right. In the bedded, we usually keep the skin on. Removing the skin is simply a texture and appearance preference. I want to see, I think I got it right with my verbiage, but I want to try and do it all in one peel where I'm not leaving any of these stripes. But let me make sure that my verbiage is right as I'm doing this. So I got it, but I want to be able to clean it all up in one take. I'm going to keep that one since I got it. Let me clean this one up. Let's move on to the next one. All right. Let's try with this one. In the bedded, we usually keep the skin on. Removing the skin is simply a texture and appearance preference. I got like 99% of it. There's like a few little pieces around the top here that I missed. And like a tiny little piece on the bottom that I missed. So I pretty much had it, but I'm gonna try it again. I mean, I gotta peel these anyways. I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to peel. So I might as well get it, hopefully. In the ballad, we usually keep the skin on. Removing the skin is simply a texture and appearance preference. Okay, I did worse on that one. I got like 91%. Let me clean this one up. So far, the second one was the best one. Oops. All right, let's try it again. All right, this is going to be it. In the ballad, we usually keep the skin on. Removing the skin is simply a texture and appearance preference. All right, this one as well. I got like 99.9% of it. I missed like a little tiny piece right there and like a little tiny piece right there at the bottom. It's okay though. I think that one will be the one. Let's go ahead and get the rest of these cleaned up. Once I get these all peeled up, we're going to clear off the cutting board. We're going to slice these into matchsticks. Not as skinny as matchsticks, but we're going to slice them up. And then we're going to move on to, then we're going to wash them. Then we're going to move on to preparing the beets. Got 2 more to peel, this one and 1 more. Last one. I think the screen just flickered on TikTok. I need to do that stupid verification thing, that I'm not a robot thing, where you gotta move the puzzle piece or find the 8 million footballs in the collage, kind of like their version of Where's Waldo. All right, let me go wash my hands. All right, let's go on a temporary trip so I can do this I'm not a robot thing, so just bear with me, YouTube, as I do this, please. All right. Looks like they swapped it back to their puzzle, sliding the puzzle piece, which is good. Because before they had it, it was kind of like this Where's Waldo thing, and the pictures were so detailed, and it was really difficult to find whatever pieces that they were asking for you to find. All right, cutting board is wiped off. Let me turn off this camera as well, because it tends to overheat after about an hour of use. Turn that on. All right. Now we can just simply slice all these up. So first you want to slice it into these discs, at least a 1/4 inch thick. And then you want to form these little matchsticks or fries, whatever you want to call them. You can also make them kind of like wedges if you would like. There's really no wrong answer. For those of you just joining in, welcome to my kitchen. I am Muhammad the Egyptian Cook. And right now we are currently preparing the turnips. We are slicing them to form these matchsticks or fry-like shapes. We are making pickled turnips in today's live. In Egyptian culture, we call it lift, like L-I-F-T. Among like all the different types of like pickled vegetables or pickled foods, I would have to say that turnips is probably my absolute favorite one. Just a few more turnips to slice, and then we can move on to rinsing them off. And then we can do the beets. Kind of like a half moon. I'll leave it because that piece, it's the end, so it's like really skinny. So I'll leave it like that. Down to the last two. And the final one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here it is. We have some kind of like matchstick or fry pieces. We got some wedges. Let me add from the first couple I cut as well. So when I redid my voiceover audio, so originally I wrote cut the ends off the turnips and peel off the skin. So originally I had written cut off the end of the turnips and peel off the skin, but then I changed it as I was recording it. Instead of saying and peel off the skin, I said so with my revision, I said cut off the ends of the turnips, peel off the skin, and wash the turnips. So I didn't do that because I was saving to wash the turnips like until the end. So let me turn my camera on to make sure I'm remembering correctly, because if that is the case, then I will have to re-record not all of my voiceover audio, but just for those shots. So let's see what I said. All right, that one's number 2.
Then peel off the skin and wash off any of the zabana.
So I need to re-record those two pieces of audio to how I originally wrote it. Then at the end, it should look like, so after I say the part, like, it should look like this. That was the part that I recorded earlier where I was holding the two up, kind of like, oops. That was the shot where I was holding the two up, kind of angled to form a V. And that's the part where I say it should look like this. So after that, I could say something like, now wash the turnips to remove any of the zebeda. Let me make sure I wrote it right for the beets. Next, cut off the beets and peel off the skin and give it a nice wash. See, for the beets, I had it written. I wrote it in to give it a wash after that. Whatever, it is what it is. I forgot because I had made that, like, when I wrote it, I didn't write it, the washing step. So it is what it is. So it's an easy revision. Let me get the strainer set up in the sink. Let me move the jar out of the way. This is going to be the jar that I'm going to be using for the pickling. And then I need to move my camera down over there as well. But first, let me get these revised voiceover audios out of the way. Excuse me. Okay, fan is off. Let's go ahead and do this. Cut the ends off the turnip. I did it again where I said it singular, not plural. Oh my goodness. All right, let's do this again. Cut the ends off the turnips. And peel off the skin. Okay, so it should look like this. Now give it a nice wash. Set it to the side. Now give the turnips a nice wash and set it to the side. Now give the turnips a nice wash and set them to the side. Then set them to the side. So let me give it that one. Give the turnips a nice wash, then set them to the side. All right, that should be okay. Let me disconnect my cords from my camera, and we're going to relocate. I'm also going to, let's take you guys on a field trip. First, we're gonna go over here to the sink area. Let me bring my camera over. Oops. Let me try to adjust this as best as I can. Put that there. Coming over with the turnips. I'm going to grab the remote. Let me tilt you guys down a little bit. Tilt you guys down a little bit too. Let's go ahead and do this. And I missed. Oh boy. It is what it is. Should be okay for the rinsing purposes or the washing purposes. All right, so we are all set with the turnips. Let's take another field trip back to over here. Oops. What the hell just happened? What was that? What is in the way? Oops. All right, I need to bring my camera back over. Just reconnecting my camera and getting ready for my next shot. Just one more moment. All right, I think we're back in business. Let me adjust that zoom. I need the remote. That should be okay. How'd the one beforehand look? Let's see. All right. Now I have some recording lines. I also need, let's see. Just going to rinse off this blade. Right. Oops. This can go here. I don't need a plate for this. They're gonna be rolling all over the place. Just need to find a comfortable way to hold these. I need to adjust the camera angle. All right, let's see how we look. Let's get this shot in. Now on to the beets. See how it looked. All right, beets are in focus.
Now on to the beets.
All right, we should be okay. I have one more recording line. For every 2 to 3 turnips, you will need 1 beet. For every 2 to 3 turnips, you will need 1 beet. Let's see how that looks. Excuse me.
For every 2 to 3 turnips, you will need 1 beet.
That should be okay. Cut off the beets and peel off the skin. Then give it a nice wash. All right, I need to adjust the camera angle down. peeled beet. Let me give my hands a quick wash. So the beets is essentially what gives pickled turnips that bright pink color. So let's see. All right, let me go ahead and clean up these other two. And then we'll head back over to the sink. Give these a nice wash. And then we will slice them. And then we will make the pickle brine. We will jar these. And we will move on with our night. All right. Going to wash my hands really quick. Be right back. To clear off the cutting board as well. Be right back again. Right. Wipe all this up. All right, I need to move my camera again back over to the sink. So let's go on a quick field trip. Back over here. I like to grab my camera. Just need to disconnect the cords. adjust the zoom a little bit. All right, that was a quick and easy shot. So go back over here. Let me bring the camera back over. So let me extend the legs. Then reconnect the cords. One's for the battery and one's for the monitor. Right, let me adjust the camera angle down. Let's see how we look. That's too zoomed in. I also need to go a little bit that way. Zoom out a little bit. All right. We are back in business, ladies and gentlemen. Standing over here. Let me adjust you guys so you can see me okay. All right, that should be okay. I need the remote. Okay, cut into 1/4 inch discs, and then, all right, so I only have to show me slicing one. So let me go ahead and get some of these sliced up off camera. All right, here's going to be the one that I slice. Well, not the one, like, as in this disc. 2 matchsticks. Now I just need to peel, or not peel, slice these last 2 turnips, or not turnips, beets. I am mixing up all of my words. Right now I am slicing the beets for the turnips. Last one. All right. Kind of pile these right there, just like that. Here's my 2 matchsticks. There you go, YouTube. Here's your little Beats matchsticks. Here you go, TikTok, your Beats matchsticks. All right. Should look like this. All right, I'm gonna go wash my hands because they're a little bit pinkish. So I'll be right back. The beets I'm just going to keep on the cutting board just like this. Just going to set them off to the side. Get them out of the way. These plates no longer need, can go in the dishwasher. All right. Now what I need is one of these, and I need one of these. Actually, I know how it is. Instead, no, this won't work. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, let's give it a try. Maybe it will work. Let's see. So this pickle brine is not going to be heated up, but when I was planning this, I was still going to mix it in a pot, just not over the flame. I'm thinking, like, last second decision to mix it in this. But the key is, I need to be able to thoroughly mix it so that way all the sea salt and sugar dissolves. Yeah, this will do. All right, I'll be able to comfortably, because I didn't think because of how large this is that I would be able to comfortably mix in here, but it actually works out pretty well. So let me get rid of this. No longer have to use the pot. And now all I need to do is adjust the camera angle for this first shot, because I do have a recording line to prepare the pickle brine. So this one I'm just going to, originally I wrote it because I had it highlighted, which meant I was going to have the camera up as me as I put the pot down, but considering I'm not using the pot, and I usually do a flip with the pot, but you can't, I mean, I'm not gonna do that with this. So I'm just going to record to prepare the pickle brine just really quickly, and then I'll slide this in instead. To prepare the pickle brine. All right, so that takes care of that. Now I need to adjust the camera angle down so that it focuses on that pitcher. Let me shorten the legs and then go from there. Oops. All right, let's see how we look. Let's do this. I want to slide it in and stop it right there. All right, that was take one. Let's try it again. That was take two. All right. First things first. It's water. So the order I'm going is water, white vinegar, sea salt, and sugar. So let's do this. All right, that was the water. Here comes the white vinegar. That was the white vinegar. Here comes the sea salt. Next is the sugar. And just a touch more sea salt. All right, now let's mix it. All right, now I need to adjust the camera up because I have a couple recording lines that I need to have. So just one moment as I extend the legs on my tripod. Oops, wrong one. There we go. Let's see how we look. One moment, please. And thank you. All right, this should be okay. First line is keep the 3 words into it, I already stumbled. Oh my goodness. Keep the pickle brine cold so the turnips do not cook at all. This will help. This will help them stay nice and crunchy. All right, first line. Keep the pickle brine cold. Keep the pickle brine cold so the turnips do not cook at all. Keep the pickle brine cold. Keep the pickle brine cold so the turnips do not cook at all. Keep the pickle brine cold so the turnips do not cook at all. Let's see how that looks. Let me try it again. Keep the pickle brine cold so the turnips do not cook at all. Keep the pickle brine cold so the turnips do not cook at all. This will help them stay nice and crunchy. This will help them stay nice and crunchy. Let's see.
This will help them stay nice and crunchy.
Let me do that one again. Let me check my other one. Okay, that one's okay. This will help them stay nice and crunchy. Let's try that one again. This will help them stay nice and crunchy. This will help them stay nice and crunchy. All right. All right, the sea salt and the sugar are fully dissolved. I think I mixed the living life out of this. All right, let's set this over here. And if I do come up short on the amount of pickle brine, anything extra I will just add, like I will just top it off when it comes to adding into the jar. If I'm short in terms of liquid, I will simply just add more vinegar in its place. So this is 6 cups right here. You'll need about like 6 or 7 cups for a 1 gallon sized jar, like based on the amount of turnips and beets that I am using. Let's go ahead and bring the jar over here. Have 2 more pieces for the jar. All right. This is the rubber seal. I don't know if it actually is rubber or not, but this rubber-like material. And then this, I believe, goes this way. Did I do this backwards? We're about to find out. All right, let me adjust my camera angle. Actually, oops. Let's see how we look. Oops. go ahead and do this. Here are the turnips. Going to need these peppers. Alright, now to a glass jar, lay the turnips with the beets. Okay, fill the jar all the way to the top, blah, 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 blah. Alright. So I'm essentially splitting the beets into two piles. I'm going to do half at the very bottom, half in the middle, then everything else is going to be the turnips. So, don't need a knife anymore. You can set this on top just like that. Okay, that's the first layer of the beets. let's come back in with the rest of the beets. That's all the beets. Now the rest of the turnips. Going to rinse off my hands. I have like a handful. I'm not gonna go any higher than this. I shouldn't actually. So I want the lid to actually be able to comfortably close without getting caught. So these I'll just do like off camera. It's literally just one handful. I'll do off camera and I'll just pickle them into their own little jar. All right. That was whole black peppercorns. Now we come in with the pickle brine. I need to adjust the camera angle up because I have a couple recording lines. Bear with me as I adjust my camera, please, and thank you. Where am I? And allow this to sit in the refrigerator for at least 5 to 7 days for the pickling process to complete. All right. And allow this 5 to 7 days to sit in the allow this to sit in the refrigerator for at least 5 to 7 days for the pickling process to complete. And allow this to sit in the refrigerator for at least 5 to 7 days to allow, I shouldn't say allow twice. And allow this, seal the jar shut, and set this, and let this sit in the refrigerator for at least 5 to 7 days to allow. Okay. Seal the jar shut. I already said seal the jar shut earlier, like as part of my voiceover audio. Seal the jar shut. And let this sit in the refrigerator for at least 5 to 7 days to allow the pickling process to complete. To allow to complete. Okay. Allow this to sit in the refrigerator for at least 5 to 7 days to allow the pickling process to complete. And allow this to sit in the refrigerator for at least 5 to 7 days to allow the pickling process to complete. Did I say allow twice? I think I did.
And allow this to sit in
Yep.
the refrigerator for at least 5 to 7 days to allow the pickling process to complete.
I don't want to say allow twice. I don't want to be redundant like that. And let this sit in the refrigerator for at least 5 to 7 days to allow the pickling process to complete. So I need to say let, then allow, not allow and allow. And let this sit in the refrigerator for at least 5 to 7 days to allow the pickling process to complete. All right, so I got my verbiage. Let's make sure it all looks okay now.
And let this sit in the refrigerator for at least 5 to 7 days to allow the pickling process to complete.
That should be okay. I never plugged this back in from earlier. Let me go ahead and do that. I unplugged it earlier because it likes to be super loud as I'm recording my see loud like that. As I'm recording my voiceover audio, and it will pick up, my microphone will pick up all of that noise. And I'm not an expert when it comes to my editing skills, like, you know, taking out certain sounds and things like that. So at times I will unplug my refrigerator. All right, move this out of the way. Okay. Here's what's left of my pickled lemons that I made a little over a month ago. Definitely check out that video. That full recipe video is on all of my social media platforms, and the written step instructions, video and ingredients list is on my website, theegyptiancook.com. So definitely check it out. All right, I'm gonna do this. So if I set this here like this, I need to bring this camera over. Let me show the legs. All right. That. We should be okay like that. All right, let's do this. shots. Oops. Let me see if I can do that again where I'm not blocking it. What? All right, that's going to be the one. I actually have one more line that I need to record. So let me adjust this. I'm gonna have to take it out of the refrigerator as well. So I move this off the counter, back to our regular position, and then we can go from there. All right. This. And let this sit in the refrigerator for at least 5 to 7 days to allow the pickling process to complete. I redid that one for good measure. Let me make sure that one's okay. Then my next line. And we can do my next line.
And let this sit in the refrigerator for at least 5 to 7 days to allow the pickling process to complete.
Okay. Okay, this is my last shot that I have to record for today. Then after today, so this is going to be my final shot that I record. Hopefully I can get it on the first take. This is going to be probably my favorite part. I'm really hoping that I'll be able to nail what I say. Then after that, we're going to, like I said in the last line, we're going to let it sit in the refrigerator for about 5 to 7 days to allow the pickling process to take place. Then in basically that week, I'm going to come back. I'm going to take it out of the refrigerator. I'm going to try a few, record those final shots for my intro and outro. And then I'll work on editing the video. But we got one more line to record. Hopefully I can get it in take one. We'll see how it goes. All right. All right. Oh, it takes 5 to 7 years to pickle, not 5 to 7 days. Okay, خلاص. Go study physics because time is relative, bro. I think that one was okay, but I think I can do a little bit better with my tone.
Oh, it takes 5 to 7 years to pickle, not 5 to 7 days. Okay, خلاص. Go study physics because time is relative, bro.
I got all my words right. I just need to get the tone down. Well, I need to get the tone right. So let's try it again. Oh, it takes 5 to 7 years to pickle, not 5 to 7 days. Okay, خلاص. Go study physics because time is relative, bro. Why did I say bro like that? I ran out of breath. I need to put a little more oomph in it. I can't be yelling and running out of breath. This is unacceptable. This is completely unacceptable. Oh, it takes 5 to 7 years to pickle, not 5 to 7 days. Okay, خلاص. Go study physics because time is relative, bro. I want to say bro differently. I want to be like bro. Like I. Oh, it takes 5 to 7 years to pickle, not 5 to 7 days. Okay, خلاص. Go study physics because time is relative, bro. Let's see how that one looks. I think that one's okay, but I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, it takes 5 to 7 years to pickle, not 5 to 7 days. Okay, خلاص. Go study physics because time is relative, bro.
All right, let me make sure I'm singing this right.
Oh, it takes 5 to 7 years to pickle, not 5 to 7 days. Okay, خلاص. Go study physics because time is relative, bro.
All right, that one's good, but I think I can do better. All right, let's try this again. Oh, it takes 5 to 7 years to pickle, not 5 to 7 days. Okay, خلاص. Go study physics because time is relative, bro. Oh man, I think that's gonna be it.
Oh, it takes 5 to 7 years to pickle, not 5 to 7 days. Okay, خلاص. Go study physics because time is relative, bro.
Okay, I'm done. I need to put these away. Let me turn off this camera because I have no more shots that I can take for tonight for this recipe. But oh man, that one was the winner. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Thank you for everybody who tuned into my live tonight as we prepared these pickled lemons. This is really popular in Egyptian culture. We call it lift. It's no different than saying the word lift, L-I-F-T. That is what we called pickled turnips. Other regions in the Middle East have different names for it, but Egyptians, we call this lift. As you can see, the pickled brine is already starting to take on the color of the beets. It is starting to turn like a little bit light pink. The longer it sits, the deeper color the color will become. And the turnips will essentially, here's how the turnips look raw. They're essentially like white, off-white, you know, whatever, however technical you want to get with the color. But once you incorporate the beets, I put the beets at the bottom and in the middle, they will take on the color. Essentially that like deep purple will bleed from the beets, and then the turnips will essentially turn like a deep pink color, like a bright pink or fuchsia color. So that concludes today's live. So let me go ahead and put these in the refrigerator. So that concludes that. As I said earlier, it does take about 5 to 7 days in the refrigerator. So we do have to wait until next week for the final dish. In the meantime, what I have planned for tomorrow and Thursday, I'm going to be making lamb shank. So I have it here in the bag. So stay tuned for that live as I prepare lamb shank, and the twist tie just came off. That is not good. So definitely tune in for that live as I show you how to prepare some lamb shank. I'm super excited for this one, actually. In terms of when all of these recipe videos will post, the lamb shank should post by Friday at the latest, this week Friday at the latest. And the pickled turnips will post sometime next week. Today is Tuesday. So the final cut for the pickled turnips recipe video should post sometime like next week, Wednesday or Thursday. So lamb shank, pickled turnips. I'm also planning to make shawarma as well soon in the coming weeks. Also mahshi as well. A lot of you have been asking for mahshi, and I finally found a good local like Mediterranean grocery store by me that does carry essentially the pigeons where I can make the hammam mahshi. So definitely stay tuned for that one. I'm super excited for that. A lot of people have been asking for a long time, have been asking for me to make hammam mahshi. The issue and the challenge was not too many grocery stores or markets near me carry it, but I finally found one where they actually look good. So thank you everybody who tuned in to today's live. That concludes today's live. Stay tuned for my next one, which will be between tomorrow and Thursday, where I make lamb shank. So thank you everybody and have a good night.